Okay, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna do this introduction again, like true professionals, true podcast professionals. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, we're doing it live
On the spot. Hello and welcome to Learning the Law, a podcast about all things legal with a focus on current events, where we try to teach you things in an hour. My name is Ashley, aka Phoenix Nymphy, and my co-host, who is the man of the hour, the most professional, my husband, Ron. This podcast is purely educational and should not be taken as legal advice. This podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship. This podcast is based on his interpretation of relevant law, and any opinions expressed are the opinions of the individual making them and do not reflect the opinions of any firm, company, or other individuals. Ron is a licensed practicing attorney in the state of California.
Yes, I am. And you know what? I have been since September of 1999.
Okay. You realize that I have to wait for you to do that so that I can do the sponsor, right? So the delay is getting old. 23 episodes in.
It's my trademark.
Oh my God. This week, the podcast is sponsored by NordVPN. With more than 10 years of experience, NordVPN is a leading VPN provider. NordVPN gives you military-grade protection online, and you can access all your favorite sites without restriction. NordVPN never logs your activity, and when using their servers, I'm sorry, there was no and there. I can read. You can try. NordVPN never logs your activities when using their servers. You can always trust your privacy to NordVPN. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring Learning the Law. If you use our affiliate link, you get all access to all of this and more. It is linked in the live stream. It is linked in our YouTube, and it is on our podcast information. So,
just to let you know that you have been hosted on another channel.
Oh no.
Thank you so much
Oh no.
for hosting.
Phoenix Nymphy.
We truly appreciate.
What happened?
Sorry. We got hosted, and I thought I turned the sounds off for that, and I didn't. And thank you for the host. The sound is now off. I'm like, what? Anyway. Okay. That's weird. That shouldn't have. That's weird because I don't have that source like in here at all. So that's really weird that's that even popped up. But anyway, so today we just wrapped up. Oh, wow. Professional this week. Holy cow. I am doing an amazing job today. Let me pat myself on the back for this ridiculousness. Oh my God. Do you hear the sarcasm in my voice?
Remus does.
So this week we were a little delayed again due to the prosthetic process. So it seems that is taking just a little bit longer. And next week actually is when we get the prosthetic and we'll be bringing it home. So we're going to delay next week's podcast, live cast, to 7 to 8 instead of 6 to 7. Just because it keeps I want to make sure that we have enough time when we get home. But our weeks so far, I got a tetanus shot.
That sounds like fun.
A lot of fun there. Lots of fun there. Yeah. Prosthetic update. You want to talk about your exciting news? Which I kind of spoiled a little bit. Sorry.
Looks like I'm getting my leg next week. Went a few rounds on the parallel bars with it today. It was good. I like walking. I miss walking. I hate this chair.
I know you do. Also, latest news, the hot off hot off the press, the apple crisp macchiato does not, in fact, taste like apple pie. They lied to me. Thank you. It's terrible.
I had the taste of it.
I'm trying to drink it because I paid $5 for this shit. I'm going to drink it. But oh Lord, it's nasty.
It tastes like coffee to me.
It is disgusting. It is so gross. So this week, the podcast is going to be more opinion based than anything. Only because the topics that we had at hand were like, they're going to take us weeks to prepare, to really dive into. And we're not quite there yet with our research. However, what we're going to talk about today is kind of surface level stuff. So basically, what Ron's opinion on how he thinks things are going to go down. So the topics that we chose are the Twitch hate raids, the vaccine mandates, and the McDonald's news that came out today. So I just thought it would be interesting just to kind of have a back and forth. Not really much in show notes this week. It's literally just kind of off the cuff. It's kind of a more relaxed podcast for us because it does lean more towards is conjecture the word I'm looking for? Versus, hardline education
Strict
stuff.
law.
Yeah, it's not strict law. It's kind of a little bit of both. We just did the mini series. We had 6 episodes on the mini series, and in between that, we had the 2-hour episode of the Blizzard Activision podcast. So we've had the last 7 podcasts have been like, whew, they've been a lot, but it was a lot of fun. So the dog is about to be put outside because I'm sick of his crap. I don't understand what his problem is, but so let's just let us jump into. Well, I'll let Ron decide. Actually, no, we've got a few people in chat. What would chat? Hey, Martian Cat, what's up? What would you like us to talk about out of these 3 topics? I know personally what I want to talk about, but I want to hear what chat wants to talk about. So the options are Twitch hate raids, the vaccine mandates, or McDonald's, because there's a lot in there. The McDonald's McFlurries specifically.
Well, the machines.
Yeah. Where were we? Okay. Chat has not responded. Chat doesn't seem to have an opinion either way. So we're just going to start with scenario 1. Twitch hate raids. If you don't know what Twitch hate raids are, currently on Twitch, people of color, specifically people in the Black content creator community, especially Black women, are being targeted by people who have decided to bot spam with foul language, foul comments, foul statements. They follow bot, they view bot, and which all of these things skew the statistics. They screw up the statistics, but which is on a and they do it. They've been doing that part for a very long time, but this is a step up from what they've been from, just I've been follow botted several times. This is a step up because they come in and they actually say hateful, awful language to these people. And it is horrendous, the things that people are saying to human beings while they're just trying to create content and trying to entertain and bring some positivity into this world. And so Twitch is very slow on responding when the community when the community is upset about stuff like this. Their focus obviously is going to be the people who bring in the money, which are not those of us that are actually getting hate rated, because the people that are making money already have 600 plus people in their chats. Their chats are going so fast, they probably don't even notice. I think I was reading a thread and I can't find the thread again, but the guy was talking about how Twitch focuses more, just like most businesses, it's more top heavy. And so they're not very community based. So they're more reactive than they are proactive when it comes to the community stuff, because 88% of their financing comes from those top streamers. What do those top streamers want? Well, they want something that's going to push them forward and help them grow and help them get more and, help them, attain more, attain higher and better and all of that stuff, which is, there's nothing to say there's anything wrong with that, because there's not. But there is an issue when you have, when you don't actually respond to the rest of the community, in my opinion, because yeah, we may not be the ones that are bringing you the money, but we're still part of this community as well. And I think that's where the disconnect is when it comes to corporate America and everybody else. Like, there is no sense of community in a corporation. They try to say they are a community, they are a family, but we all know that's BS. So my question, and one of the things that I think from a legal standpoint is there, because this whole it's a whole system that is way different because yes, Twitch has this platform and I get to upload my content on it for free. Okay. I do make some income and we split that income, which is another thing in and of itself, because it's 50-50. I'm of the opinion that Twitch could take a 1% from every person who gets subs and still make a ton of money. But I digress. As a person of color, you use all of the tools that are there. Some people have made these fantastic tools to help. I mean, my best friend got hate rated while we were in the middle of streaming for her birthday, and somebody made this awesome setup for her, and she one click and was able to take care of it, right? And then the mods went through and banned all of the bots. I mean, beautiful, but she shouldn't have to deal with that. So nobody should have to deal with that. But when are you allowed, even though you're using this platform, when are you allowed to say enough is enough? When are you allowed to go, okay, it's time for me to bring legal action to Twitch, right? Without losing your income, because because it's not like standard employment law, right? Because we are contractors. We are not actual employees of Amazon Twitch. So where's the line? Because I personally feel like there's got to be some way, some legal thing where we can go, hey, Twitch, you are responsible for this situation. You are responsible for allowing you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, well, let me ask you a question in response to that.
If you hold up. Let me read Kinky's. King Nightmare said, bigger Black creators are also getting hate rated. Oh, okay, that's right. Miss Ash Rocks is getting. She streamed in Discord for a week to stand against Twitch's. So yeah, it is the bigger. But because it's a Black creator, they don't care.
Okay.
At least that's what it seems like, right?
If you were a contractor working at Blizzard, you could have still made the complaint to the DFEH. It doesn't matter if you're a contractor working or if you're an employee working. A hostile work environment is a hostile work environment. That being said, Twitch is a work environment. You get paid through Twitch. You get a 1099 from Twitch. As such, Twitch is your HR department for these kinds of complaints. If the HR department does not take care of these complaints and does not investigate them or provide you the tools to deal with them, then perhaps they need to be sued.
So my next question then is, couldn't they just say, well, you can't stream on our platform anymore because you sued us?
That could give rise to another unlawful termination action.
Does that really? Because I mean, as content creators, like we are self-employed, and like according to the Twitch, like you've read the Twitch affiliate contract because I had you read over that stuff before I signed it and decided I wanted to do all that. They say that they own our copyright for 24 hours and then we can release it. Do they actually own our copyright? Do they actually have a legal standing for that to say you can't release this anywhere else for 24 hours?
They do.
They do. Okay, but they don't have.
It's part of your agreement of using their service.
So, okay.
In order to use their service, they get a 24-hour exclusive.
So it's an exclusivity clause. It's not an outright they own because this right here, what we're doing right here is copyrighted because we created it. It is our copyright.
It is our copyright.
So Twitch doesn't own the copyright to this.
No.
However,
no, you can take that to the federal courts.
So, however, if you are having, if you are being hate rated and you're being bombarded with this stuff, it's stopping you from being able to work and get your work. And it is, a source of income, and it removes a source of income when you have people that are in your channel bombarding you and taking away instead of I'm trying to
right. And what I'm saying is your recourse is to make the complaint to your employer.
But if they are not doing anything,
Twitch.
What is Twitch liable for? What is Twitch liable for?
Hostile work environment.
So how would we go about having that conversation? How would we go about, would it be like a class action employment suit, or would it be a situation where we call up or we send in complaints to the DFEH here because they're based in California?
Everybody would have to send a complaint to the DFEH, Department of Fair Employment and Housing. And when they get enough complaints, they'll do an investigation.
Because
one complaint won't do it.
No. Okay. Obviously. So it's very similar to the Activision Blizzard situation. We need to. The only difference is Blizzard has a concrete, for lack of a better term, brick and mortar headquarters where everyone is. Right.
This headquarters exists in cyberspace.
Which is new. It's different.
Right. That doesn't matter. an environment is an environment. If it's hostile, it's hostile. Twitch has the capability of bringing the tools necessary to deal with this.
One of the things, and I have been saying this for years, I've been saying this for years, and I know that other people have also been saying this for years. If someone is banned from our stream, they should not be able to watch the stream. They like the page, like 404 error not found, page not found kind of thing. Like you cannot, like straight up IP ban. That is something that they should be capable of creating.
Yeah,
Correct?
You said your friend was able to do something.
No. That had nothing to do with IP banning. She was just able to turn off her alert. A click of a button, she was able to turn off her alerts to keep her alerts from spamming and like causing, which I think is something that we shouldn't have to do. We shouldn't have to turn off our alerts. But the offensive names like the N-word and stuff like that will flash across the screen because they'll. Do you remember when we were being when I was being stalked and they were following with our personal information?
Yep.
Well, it's that times 100 right now for people who are dealing with these hate rates. And it is, I ended up having to go to the FBI for my particular situation. It's a bit different, but some people are having, like, they're showcasing their personal information and stuff like that. And it's like, we can only do so much, right? When it comes to this kind of stuff. And we shouldn't be forced off of the platform because Twitch doesn't want to do their job. We shouldn't be forced to stop creating content. Like, but the thing is, like, I guess, because, there's that argument of, well, then go make your own platform. I don't have that. I don't have those tools. I don't have that capability to make that platform.
No, that's like telling the Blizzard employees to make their own software company.
Like, I don't. Oh.
The audience loved that.
What are they barking at right now?
Someone's outside the door.
The front door? Y'all, my dogs today. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I think we may have to start locking them in the bedroom while we podcast because they are getting way too loud.
They only really do this on Tuesday night.
No. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It is. Does seem. Anyway, it's every time I stream. Where were we? We were so rudely interrupted. This podcast is just insanity tonight.
But what the first step you have to do is register the complaint to Twitch.
Okay.
Make a clip of it.
Okay.
Do something.
How do you register the complaint to Twitch? Like, if I report somebody and write something down and, because like in Twitch's system itself, they have a report. Is that not a complaint?
It can be considered a complaint. The best thing you could do would be to write an actual physical letter.
You mean
to their headquarters?
Old school and just mail it off.
Yeah.
So that they officially have a complaint.
Yes. And when they get 10, 20, 30,000 letters delivered to them by the post office, maybe then they'll take notice. If they don't, you also write to the DFEH, Department of Fair Employment and Housing in Sacramento.
So is this a situation where, when you call your representative and you're like, I don't I want you to vote no on blah, blah, blah. And like people write a script or have a letter written and you just print it out and write it or just sign your signature. Would that be okay to do that? Like if I were to write a well thought out letter and say, here, if you have these feelings, if you feel this way, print this out and send it to Twitch with your signature.
Yeah, you mean a template letter?
Yeah, like
where
a
you
template
fill in
letter.
the details. Yeah, that's fine. If you do that, make a log of every letter that you send into Twitch, because then you can tell that to the DFEH. I've made several complaints to Twitch concerning the hostile work environment, and use those words exactly: hostile work environment.
Because I don't know why that thought hasn't hit me, but it is. It is absolutely a hostile work environment.
Now,
let me recheck. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your thought.
This works because their headquarters in California. They have to go by California law.
Right.
If they were headquarters in another state, it may not be effective. But I do believe in this case, it would be effective. Would it be quick? No, nothing legal. No legal solution is ever quick.
No.
That's the first thing you got to realize. It could take years. I mean, look at how long the Blizzard investigation took.
I mean, just look at the Floyd lawsuit, the George Floyd situation. I mean, the lawsuit and all of that stuff didn't happen. For the trial itself took a year to happen because they had to do, all of the investigations, all of the interviews, all of the depositions, all of that stuff.
Right. And what's his name? Chauvin.
They did it in a year was kind of impressive.
Constitutionally, he had the right to a speedy trial.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
and a year is not considered a speedy trial. He must have waived his right to it.
That's not considered a speedy trial?
No.
Oh, you mean he could have actually gone to trial a little bit sooner?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in chat, Kinky says, they make us compile all the ways they use the various emotes and characters to make the N-word or anti-Semitism rhetoric. Still won't take proof of an ongoing harassment from certain people and IP those people upon getting various forms of proof. Twitch is lazy in helping its marginalized people, and there isn't really a reason for them not to be useless more than just the marginalized speak up about it.
Now, the individual could just file a lawsuit against Twitch. However,
a single person
with your limited resources, the way litigation goes today, is not going to be able, generally speaking, to fight Amazon Twitch.
Right. They're not going to they're going to keep you in, they're going to wrap you up in legal fees. That's why a situation like this, like, you've got to get together and have everybody do it and have everybody stand up and everybody step up and say, this has got to change.
Right. And the best entity to fight Amazon Twitch would be a governmental agency, because they will have unlimited resources.
Right.
If they want to go after somebody, they go after somebody.
It sometimes feels like there's nothing we can do, but it's nice to know that we do have rights, even though we don't go to an office and stream from that office that is in Twitch headquarters. Like, we are basically remote workers. And Yeah, it's a hostile work environment. So it's, it's employment law.
Yeah. Which, granted, is not my specialty,
No.
but, that is my understanding. In my interpretation of the employment law, I do know you're operating under hostile work environment.
So moving on, we'll move on from the Twitch hate raids. Vaccine mandates. So the big news this week is that the FDA has approved the Pfizer vaccine. Have they?
Yes.
They haven't approved the Moderna one yet.
Or the Johnson & Johnson.
But they're coming. Somebody Wicked, we were talking, and Wicked was telling me that the way they do it is based off of application date. That's why it takes things so long to approve. They just pushed that
Pfizer
up.
was first out of the gate.
Yeah, they just pushed pushed it up, which is why it, so it's probably Moderna was probably second, Johnson Johnson's probably third. So what does that mean? So I keep hearing these people, I keep hearing like tidbits and stuff saying that now companies, places can mandate vaccines now and can now actually turn you away because you're not vaccinated.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, because the vaccine is no longer considered for emergency use or experimental use, and it is available to everyone. In the public interest, companies can mandate for employees to be vaccinated. Businesses can mandate that if you're going to come into their place of business, you be vaccinated. Not just private companies now. FDA approval, public places can mandate it as well.
So so what about those people who I went to turn my phone on vibrate and I got distracted because I was listening to what you said. Usually it's the opposite. So what about those people who are like, we've already addressed the HIPAA issue. It's not HIPAA. It is not HIPAA for that to be a thing, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to reiterate that. It is not against HIPAA to mandate the vaccine. And the thing is, schools mandate certain vaccines or your kid can't go to that school unless it's like, a health, immunosuppressant or a health reason why they can't get vaccinated.
And that has been the law for over 100 years. Those school mandated vaccines, polio, smallpox, diphtheria, German measles, I forget, it goes on and on. Those mandated vaccines, not for polio, of course, that wasn't until the 50s, but in some form have been around since the turn of the 19th century.
So how, what do you think is going to happen? There's not really anything else we can say other than, they have a legal right to do this. So in your opinion, what do you see happening with this? Do you see there being an uproar? Do you see the government do you see people starting to get arrested now for causing more? Because they're not, from what I've seen, they're not really arresting a lot of the anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers. Even when they are going into grocery stores and causing problems. Do you think it's going to continue to be the same as this? Or do you think they're actually going to step up and like the kids are not going to be allowed? Because 4 teachers I'm sure it's gone up, but like 4 teachers have died so far. The doctors staged a walkout in Florida because of how overloaded they are. When I was in the emergency room the other day, like I probably should have stayed in there a little bit longer, but they released me because they were full. They were full. I wasn't dying, so I could be released, even though I felt like I was dying. I felt like all of my insides were coming out through my vagina. How do you think that's going to look?
Well, first of all, people are going to look to the courts for their quote unquote liberty to not have the vaccination. You're not being forced to vaccinate. Everybody has a right not to be vaccinated. However, if you want your kid to go to a public school, if you want to go into certain businesses, they have the right to say, be vaccinated or you can't come here.
Do you think schools are going to start turning away kids that haven't been vaccinated?
Yes.
Parents that haven't been vaccinated?
Yes.
Because, I mean, you cannot vaccinate. It's only 12 and up. So elementary age kids cannot get vaccinated.
You're going to see that age go down.
You think the age is going to go down really quick?
Yeah.
Now that it's been approved?
Yeah.
Because
you're going to, as more and more children get COVID and more of them are hospitalized, because as you can see from the data, the Delta variant attacks young people almost as much as mature adults.
Yeah.
You're going to see that age go down, probably to 5, which is kindergarten age, I believe. At least it was for me.
So I have a question. If you have somebody fussing, say you are a store owner, because we all know that I'm not going to say we all know that, but there's definitely hesitancy with the police right now. I mean, it's been there among the marginalized community for a long time, but it's definitely felt in the white community now because of the pandemic. And I think I'm kind of the silver lining from all of this is that people can't ignore it anymore because it's in your face, right? Because you don't have anything else to do but watch it, right? So it's definitely felt in the white community a lot more. What do you do? What do you do when you have a business and you have these people who are just causing chaos and disturbing the peace and, getting in your face, and you live in an area where the police are not that trustworthy?
The only thing you can do is make a citizen's arrest. You have that right.
How would you even go about doing something like that? Because that could get somebody killed.
It could.
Has anybody ever actually done a citizen's arrest and it been successful?
I'm sure if I researched it, the answer is going to be yes. Every time a store manager stops a shoplifter, he makes a citizen's arrest.
Oh, I have seen like loss prevention managers have handcuffs.
Yeah.
So that actually makes sense. Okay, that makes sense as to why they have the handcuffs.
And then you call, you make your arrest, you call the police, and the police have to uh, take your arrest seriously.
Okay, tell me, okay, how does that work? How does this citizen's arrest actually work?
Whoever is violating the law,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's assault, whether it's shoplifting, even if it's murder, you go up to that person and say, I'm detaining you under citizen's arrest for blank. And blank is whatever
Right.
crime
Insert
they've done.
crime here.
Yeah. You then detain that person if you are able.
Okay.
Now, you can't use deadly force.
Of course. Yeah. Well, cops aren't supposed to use deadly force either.
Cops can use deadly force if they feel their life is in danger.
But that's not the first thing they're supposed to go to.
Correct. You as a citizen can use, or not a citizen, but you as a person can use deadly force if you feel your life is in danger.
Right. And I feel like cops should be seen that same way, right? Like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. The problem is when you ask somebody who's just killed somebody, you thought your life was in danger? They're going to say yes.
Anyway, that's a whole other.
Yeah. So anyway, you detain the person if it's not going to be harmful to yourself.
So question, what if you were able to like get a zip tie on them or handcuff them somehow, and before you say, okay, I'm detaining you, like, does that still count?
That can, if the circumstances warranty that action first.
Like, say you saw them do something, or they did something, but you don't want to get hurt, so you wait until you are able to get in a situation where you can, just for your own safety, and then you do it, and then you're like, you're under arrest, citizen's arrest.
Yeah. While you're zip tying them, you better say that, just so they know why they're being zip tied.
Okay. So it's the same.
And then you hold them for the police. Yeah.
And then, so what happens after the police come? That's what I'm really curious. Like, do the police just come and basically say, okay, and read them their Miranda rights and take them to jail, and you hope that they actually book them?
Yeah.
What if they don't book them?
Then you have recourse against the police department for not doing their job.
Interesting.
If they don't book a shoplifter, you have recourse. If they don't take your arrest seriously, you have recourse.
Interesting.
Now, you're going to say, what if they don't assault somebody? What if they don't do any crime? Well, the very first thing you do if somebody came into your business that you don't want there, you have to ask them to leave. Because you have that right. It's your private business. You have the right to serve, generally, who you want to serve. And if they're causing...
As long as it's not based off of discrimination, like race, gender, sex, etc.
Right.
Something that you cannot change about yourself is essentially the way it works. At least the way it is right now, based on the last Supreme Court suit that happened, correct?
Correct. So if you ask them to leave and they don't, they are then trespassing, which is a crime. You can detain them for that. I would not advise you getting any kind of being any kind of physical if you can avoid it. If they, after you say, I'm arresting you for trespassing, and they leave, what you can do is follow them out to their car, get their license plate, still make a complaint to the police department.
Which is usually what happens.
Yeah.
Which is usually, and it's usually the safer course of action.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of them leave as soon as they're being videotaped.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is the store usually has its own cameras. You don't even have to whip out a phone.
Right. Insane.
Yeah.
That's
But,
just some,
you know,
wild
getting
stuff.
back to the mandates.
Yeah, sorry. I would just, that's this podcast. This is
I
when
know.
I'm having conversations with my husband about law. This podcast is very much how the conversations go. I'll bring up a topic and then we'll just tangent and tangent and tangent. Pivot.
It's 1905. You're in the state of Massachusetts, and there's a smallpox outbreak.
Oh yeah, you did want to talk about this.
And so the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, I believe Harvard is there. Whoops, I just spilled my coffee.
Harvard.
Yeah, they passed an ordinance requiring all people not vaccinated within a certain time frame to be vaccinated or revaccinated if they were vaccinated a long time ago within 60 days or face a criminal fine of $5. And that was for everybody. And a minister by the last name
Fined
of
people for not getting vaccinated.
yeah.
So why aren't we doing it now? Like, why can't we do that now?
We could. The political will was not there on behalf of legislatures.
What are you doing?
I am cleaning up my coffee.
Oh, you spilled your coffee.
There we go. Okay, that's that. Damn it, that was some good coffee too.
Well, you
Anyhow.
can have mine if you want.
That apple crap. Ugh.
Apple crisp.
Oh, apple crisp. Okay, I thought it was apple crap macchiato. Anyhow, yeah, $5, which in today's money, who knows, could be like $500.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, that is a massive inflation. Holy crap.
Things change when people get hit in their wallets.
Of course. I mean, I am definitely of the opinion that your premium should go up if you do not have the vaccine. If you choose to not get the vaccine, your premium should go up because I'm now paying for your COVID treatment.
Funny enough, insurance companies are now refusing to pay for the treatment for people who have not been vaccinated for their COVID care.
That's not surprising.
And so,
yeah, that's...
You survive a few days in the ICU, you're going to come out with a bill of $50,000, $60,000, $100,000. ICU bills are not cheap.
No, they're not. So, but a free shot is free and cost you nothing.
And that's what the insurance company is going to say. You did not mitigate your damages because you could have been vaccinated for free. Instead, you chose to get a $100,000 medical bill.
That is,
yeah,
that's interesting that they're now doing that. And that's one time that I will side with the insurance companies.
Yeah, I hate insurance companies.
do not like insurance companies, but that is the one side that I will definitely, one time I will side with the insurance companies because they're getting hit in their wallet, I guess.
Yeah. So anyhow, not only did this guy Jacobson refuse to get vaccinated, he refused to pay the fine.
What?
Yeah.
In
He did-
1904?
in 1905.
1905?
Yep.
Okay.
Goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the court upheld the conviction and the fine on the grounds, and this is the Supreme Court, not the state Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Okay.
The individual's rights are not absolute. States can interfere with those rights to protect the public health as long as it's reasonable. Mandated vaccines are reasonable in light of an epidemic or a pandemic.
The individual's rights are superseded when it deals with a group of people.
Right.
What? The many outweigh the few.
Or the one.
Or the one. I mean,
Star Trek, Wrath of Khan.
Right? The many outweigh the one. Like this is a concept that's been around, like, so that's
and
the Supreme Court. And that was 100 years ago.
Yeah. 116 years ago.
Yeah.
And that line has followed ever since, because there have been many challenges to the vaccination mandates over the years of kids going to school. And every single time they have been upheld.
Even recently with the anti-vax movement because of autism and whatnot, like those parents that they've still held that up.
Yep. There's no medical evidence that vaccinations cause autism.
Oh, no, absolutely not. It's bullcrap. But that's what started the anti-vax movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So don't expect the Supreme Court to overrule 116 years of jurisprudence.
Right.
That they will not do.
Interesting.
Yeah. And part of the reason they said that it was reasonable is at that time, the court pointed to all the vaccine mandates required for children. Those were reasonable to protect the kids. This is reasonable to protect the public health.
Right.
Done.
And that's what's going to end up coming up. That's what's going to end up cropping up in all of this stuff. So,
yeah. And if anyone wants to read that case, the citation for it, it's called Jacobson v. Massachusetts, 197 U.S. 11.
I'm sure you can just Google 1905 Jacobson versus Massachusetts, and it'll pop up.
You can do that, and you'll get a nutshell.
Yeah. That's fascinating. So, actually something just popped up and then I should have wrote it down. ADHD brain. Dang it. Fudge. It was a good comment too. Son of a gun. Okay. Well, it had to do with
And likewise, the mask mandates will be upheld too.
Really?
If it goes to the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Because public.
For the public health.
So, moving on to the final thing, which I don't even think we have that much time left.
Well, the McDonald's thing may not take a whole lot of time, but we'll see.
We've got about 10 minutes left. So, McDonald's I haven't found anywhere. I haven't found a source that confirms that they had a settled or not settled, but they had a judgment, a ruling today. But according to the Under the Desk News, McDonald's won a lawsuit against Taylor, there was a lawsuit that was against Taylor, which is the machines that make the McFlurries.
Right.
And according to Under the Desk News, they settled with the or ruled against Taylor, the machine makers, and which will now allow McDonald's companies to fix their own machines. So I probably should have said this next part first, but welcome to my brain, everyone. McDonald's had the McFlurry machines, which we all know are always out. They're $18,000 machines, first and foremost. They're very expensive machines, and apparently they have to, every 2 weeks, they have to take them apart and clean them. And so when they put them back together, things can go wrong. And so they're made by this company called Taylor. And they have a contract with Taylor that only Taylor can come fix the machines. Well, the problem is McDonald's is a franchise. Like, it's franchised out. So the franchisors couldn't afford these fees to pay to get the machines fixed. And this company called, I just have the last name, Kitch.
Yeah. KYTCH.
Yeah. So this company created this diagnostic tool to be able to diagnose what's wrong, and so that you could fix the machines and go about your business. And in creating this diagnostic tool, they found in the lawsuit, this is stated in the lawsuit, that they found that Taylor was deliberately breaking the machines. The way they were putting it in the software, putting it in the code for it to become broken. So according to Under the Desk News, which I haven't found source yet, they ruled for Kitch, the third party, to be able to do the diagnose things so that they could fix their own machines. Now, they did have a temporary restraining order that was sent out on July 30th because what they were doing was what Taylor was doing. They had stolen this diagnostic tool. They had gotten this diagnostic tool and they were breaking it down. And Kitch was bringing the lawsuit against them for that as well. They were trying to break down and figure out what it was, and it is. Yeah. So, would you like fries with that? According to, here's the quote. They designed flawed code that caused the machines to malfunction and said that this may have been deliberate, which is so messed up. So, but McDonald's was kind of defending their stance, so it seems from what I could read from the information I got, it seems Kitch is associated with a franchised McDonald's. You have corporate McDonald's, and then you have Taylor, the machine. And right. So these guys, McDonald's corporate and Taylor, were in conjunction together, but the franchise wanted something different. So, and the judge ruled in favor.
chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
The judge ruled in favor of Kitsch so that McDonald's franchises can fix their own machines. So, yeah, can you maybe talk about why?
Oh, a franchisee. If people don't know what a franchisee is, you pay for a license to a corporate entity, in this case, McDonald's, to use their name and their products. And so,
A lot of fast foods restaurants are like that.
yeah,
Burger
Subway.
King, Subway. I think Wendy's is franchised as well.
Yeah.
I know
No.
Dunkin' Donuts is. Baskin Robbins. It's a very common.
Yeah. And you have a contract. You have to use their products. You have to use their
Right.
suppliers, their vendors. And in this case, you had to have your machines fixed by Taylor.
Yeah. And that was the agreement settled upon corporate McDonald's with Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that, I'm sure, was part of the franchisee contract.
Right.
And the judge in this case, I'm sure, ruled that to be an unreasonable clause in the contract, especially with the allegation and lawsuit that they break on purpose.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why, they were broken most of the time. And you'd have to wait forever to get them fixed. So the franchisees are saying it is an unreasonable thing. We have to sell McFlurries. We have to sell ice cream, or we're going to lose business.
I'm not going to lie. I do like a McFlurry, but I haven't got one in years because every time I get a craving to go get one, it's broken.
Yeah. So, and the corporate cannot cause the business, the franchisee, to lose money in such a way that they profit from it.
Wait, corporate is could profit from that?
Yeah. This is total speculation.
All of this is allegations because I have not been able to confirm the source yet. So we are speaking in hypotheticals here. Just
correct.
So this is opinion based off of, how he understands the law. How can corporate make money off of that, though? Would they not lose money?
It's a franchisee that has to pay for the repair. Taylor then gets that money from the franchisee.
Right.
If there is some stream of money that goes from Taylor to corporate, which is speculation at this point, but could come out in the lawsuit, can't be done.
So I know that there's some way, I don't understand business when it comes to all that stuff, but isn't there a way that businesses make money because of the profit loss margin? So if they're working at a loss, they're actually making money or something like that? Isn't that called like the profit loss margin or something like that?
That usually you can take losses off of your taxes. And
that's where it is.
Yeah, and that's one way corporations get away with not paying any taxes.
Jeffrey Bezos. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So that's probably not all right. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, but without reading the order from the judge, I can only speculate that it was an unreasonable clause of the franchisee contract, and the franchisee should be free to repair their own machines that they've had to buy.
Yeah.
In a more economically friendly and timely manner than what Taylor was providing.
Now, my next question on that, what does that mean for future corporations, especially corporations like Apple, which is notorious for making you go to Apple approved only places to get your content, to get your stuff fixed? Do you think that will affect that situation?
I think the courts will be reluctant to make the analogy that a customer is the same as a franchisee.
I'm talking about, like, say you have a phone repair shop and you can't get that whatever, but you know how to fix a phone. Like, because I'm pretty sure Apple has gone after companies or after businesses that are fixing their phones without their certificate. Isn't that what was? I swear to God, I might be remembering that incorrectly.
I know that Apple avoids the warranties of any of their products.
Right.
That have been repaired by a third party. So then
it screws over the consumer because they're going to this person who is not quote unquote Apple certified or whatever. Because sometimes that's all that's around you to fix your phone. And you can't get to an Apple certified technician to get your phone. So, and like if Apple's taking money away from these little businesses that are doing this, and then also voiding the people's warranty, like, I don't know, like, I feel like this could kind of open the way to making a little bit more changes when it comes to that kind of stuff.
The legal reasoning for it is analogous, but the status of the person that would be bringing the lawsuit is not.
Gotcha. Okay.
And some business lawyer out there may want to try it.
Yeah.
It would change Apple considerably.
Yeah. I don't like the iPhone. I actually do prefer Android, but I do prefer the Mac OS over PC's OS. I don't know. I just find it smoother. But I mean, I'm fine either way. And I would much rather pay for PC because it's a hell of a lot more affordable and I can upgrade it and play around with it and, not have to worry about spending $2,000 on a machine that's going to last a year.
Okay. I will say this. I don't have any NDAs signed, but I still have to be discreet. There have already been designs for certain products till 2026. They already know the features that are coming.
Oh, for Apple?
I did say Apple.
Oh, I don't know. Like, what do you mean they? Like, what are you talking about?
But we'll just say...
I'm so confused right now.
We're going to say hypothetically Apple.
Okay.
Already has plans for the iPhone 15.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we all know that. We're not dumb. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty... Yeah. I'm sure they do. Of course they do.
And in fact, could make the iPhone 15 now.
Oh, yeah. That's not surprising.
But their business plan is they want to give each thing a little step. So you have to buy the 11, the 12, the 13, the 14.
Oh, yeah. That's so messed up. I mean, that is
their business model.
And I mean, they just lost their a lawsuit over the battery situation. Like they just lost that last year or the year before. Like it was recent. Where they were slowing down phones and not the battery, but they were deliberately slowing phones down after like 2 years every time a new phone would come out. It's
that's similar to Tesla.
Apple is not the same company. It's definitely, the business model has changed and morphed since it began. I mean, and as companies do, but the way Apple is now is not I don't like it. And generally speaking, I actually like Apple products. Like I would love to have a tablet, like an iPad and everything, but I'm not a fan of like the way they do business right now is some of the, like, I'm not a fan of that. Like here, we're going to give you something. We're going to give you something, but we're going to slow it down in a year because we're going to want you to buy another thing. It's like,
it's called planned obsolescence.
Planned obsolescence. And I think a lot of companies are now doing that business model.
The car industry did that back in the 60s and 70s.
Did they?
And
was there a lawsuit or anything to make them stop? Like,
no. What happened was foreign car companies made a better product that didn't break down in 2 to 3 years.
Okay, all right. And Remus is barking at us because it's time to stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this weird, random rambliness today. Thank you for joining us. I
had fun.
I made a Twitter account for the podcast, so you can now find us on Twitter at Learning the Law. Literally, that's the Twitter handle, Learning the Law. So we're really easy to find. Thank you so much for listening to us. If you like this podcast and you want to hear more, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share in all your favorite places. You can find it hosted live here on Twitch at twitch.tv/PhoenixNymphy every Tuesday. Remember, next Tuesday, we're going to be here at 7 p.m. because Ron's hopefully getting his new leg.
Yep. And please let us know what areas you want to. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not done with the closing. I'm not done.
I'm bad.
Please use the hashtag Learning the Law and follow us on Twitter. You can find Ron on Twitter at Necrokijo. That's NECROKIJO, and me at Phoenix Nymphy. If you have any questions, please tweet us. Now that we do have a Twitter account, you can just tweet the account directly. Comment or email us. You can even email us at 2lazydogsmedia@gmail.com. That's 2 spelled out, not the number, but TWO, 2lazydogsmedia@gmail.com. This has been a 2 Lazy Dogs Productions, even though I have a barking dog that's not being lazy. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye!
Bye, everyone.